What is going on, Millennial Morticians? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of this incredible podcast. I hope you guys had a great week last week and you enjoyed the episode. I am recovering from my birthday. 21 is official. So I'm so glad to be back with you guys, and I'm looking forward to what's to come in this next chapter of my life. With that being said, the title of today's episode is called A Monumental Moment. A Monumental Moment. I got the title of today's episode, of course, after last week, living through my 21st birthday, having friends and family over, and I thought about the time of year and how the industry's moving, and there's going to be a lot more monumental moments. And what I realized is I had to think about the things that got me to this point in my life and reflect on that in this industry. And I want you guys to prepare yourselves and prepare your hearts for what the future of our business is looking like in the monumental moments that you're going to see. One of the big monumental moments, I think, is with the growth of cremation taking over the traditional funeral service. That monumental moment is literally taking place right before your eyes. And it wasn't always like this. I mean, you can see over the last 10 years, just the number goes straight up. And I want you to understand one thing I noticed is during my monumental moment, my birthday, you have friends that you met maybe when you were 5, 6, or 7, or people you used to talk to that you thought were going to be with you your entire life, and that just wasn't the case. And in the case of cremation growing, one of the friends, quote unquote, that cremation let go of was vault companies. It kind of left vault companies out on a limb, and some of them are really trying to find different and unique ways to stay alive. Um, Actually, I won't name the company because it was a private conversation. I actually had a conversation with a big time Volt corporate executive, and we talked about different ways to get those volts to be used during the cremation process, and really trying to create a monumental moment out of that and seeing where it could lead us in the future. And he had some what I thought were phenomenal ideas. He was open and interested in talking to the next generation of the business. And he seemed like he knew that there was another moment about to happen and that he wanted to make sure that his company wasn't left behind. And what I saw a lot of at the convention was a lot of industries, a lot of companies, a lot of people, they seem to not want to be left behind. They have great innovators, great product developers, great marketing, and they're really trying to use that intel to their advantage and really try to form a way to allow their businesses to grow and to restructure. But with every monumental moment, there's a monumental cost and there's a monumental opportunity. The cost is you don't know really if what you have is going to work until you put your best foot out and try it and really develop and really see how the market is reacting to what you're giving. And that's just within the industry. I mean, outside the industry in mortuary schools and across the country, one of the most exciting and monumental moments that I've got to see within the industry is the increase of women getting involved in our industry, from funeral home owners to morticians to embalmers to any role in the funeral home, mortuary school. Even in mortuary school, their numbers are a lot more women enrolling in mortuary schools across the country now than ever before. And that is a monumental moment for this industry. And it's a huge deal. It's showing that we are not the same slow and stagnant industry that we once were to change, and that we're opening our minds and our hearts to the idea that women can do and have been able to do anything men can. And I've actually had the personal experience of getting trained with everything I know in funeral services, basically from my female mentor, and it's had a great life-changing impact on me and helped me develop in so many monumental ways. And so don't ever think that there's people out there that don't have the tools to help you just based off of how they look. Because to be honest with you, in the day and age and the day and time that we're living in, you don't know what people have at their disposal, what tools, who they know. that can really be an asset to help you in your day-to-day life. And so really utilize your monumental moment to make a lasting impact. And I think after COVID, we really got kind of relaxed on giving back to the community and things of that nature, getting involved and hands-on with things going around us. And I think as funeral homes, we need to get back involved with that. Like, let's keep doing the turkey drives. Let's keep doing the back to school stuff. Let's keep having conferences and leadership things and helping people get insurance and healthcare. And I think what you're going to see is that the funeral home is going to also, add to the list of stuff that we already do, become the hospital for people. I think we've always been a place of healing, of nurturing, of loving on people during a tough time. But I think with the way the world is changing, and as you may know, consumer needs constantly change, I really do perceive that our business model is going to be shifted into a hospital. I mean, we're going to be having people who are wounded who might need something, people who are just coming for regular funeral services, people who are healing, people who just want to talk. And you've seen a lot of funeral homes adopt therapy models, like having therapy dogs and things of that nature. You've seen people come in with counseling services that they might need to offer. And so the funeral home has been the pretty much the one-stop shop, the touch place for not just during the services, but I think we're seeing the door open for aftercare and things of that nature. And I think it's a good way to keep your business well-rounded and to keep families coming back to you again and again, because my generation is a generation where we're not as deterred to pick the same funeral home that grandma did or that granddad did 10, 20 years ago, like the last generation was. I think we're going to pick the people that we think who offer the best services, the newest technology, the most innovation, and that do great work on the deceased. And that's really going to matter. And especially how you market yourself. Even in today's age, you see funeral homes marketing through TikTok and LinkedIn and just so many other platforms out there. And that's how they're making their monumental moment, their monumental impact. Even TV, social media. I mean, there's just so many ways to get your funeral home brand out there and really be heard. And realize this: the only way that you as a funeral home owner are going to survive in the future of this business is if you have the right people, and that you're paying, and if you're paying them if you have the right people, you're paying them the right price, and you are you're monumentizing and maximizing the effort and the work that's inside of each person. And I think there's been a lack of leadership as far as people trying to discover what's inside of people. As an owner, as a businessman, I think my most important asset that I bring to the table, and I'm just talking about me, is the fact that I'm willing not just to learn and hear about other people, but I want to hear about the people that work for me. And I don't just want to know like the basic stuff. I want to know everything I can about you so I can maximize your personal growth and development, your personal potential, and your personal gifts, not just in my business, but in whatever you're doing outside of the funeral home as well. I think us maximizing the importance of our mental health in and outside of work is really going to be a keen way on keeping new graduates, new mortuary students for a longer period of time. As some of you may know, a lot of mortuary school graduates only really last 2 to 5 years in the business upon graduation. And so I really want to help extend that. I mean, I want people to have full careers in this business, in this industry. And it takes a team to make a monumental moment happen. And one thing I've realized crossing mine is, as I look back and I look over how everything fanned out, is the problems, the challenges, the defeating moments, they all come together for a major purpose, and that's to see you win and to see you develop to be the best person that you can be. And that's all anybody could ever ask for. They just want to see you be your best and shine the brightest. And so in your monumental moment, you may have some people rooting for you, and you may have some people that don't want to see you win. But no matter what you do, keep doing what you're doing, keep exceeding, keep excelling. And when it's time to party and rejoice that you made it over that challenge, you take what you learn, you take those skills, and you utilize them for the next challenge to come, because there's always going to be something else. There's always going to be the next. There's always going to be a bigger mountain or a bigger hurdle that you don't think you're going to cross. And I'm here to encourage you. If you're a part of this podcast, you're watching this podcast, and you guys know I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to keep your head clear, keep your heart clear, because we are more than just. We're more than just, and you can't put boundaries around the gifts that are inside of us. And I think we're really, these next couple decades, this next couple years, as we end 2024 off and in 2025, people are going to see the funeral industry in a way they've never seen it before. And like churches had to adjust and modify, and you see these LED TVs, screens, and you see the popcorn stand and the coffee machine. I think funeral homes are going to have to readjust their locations that way as well, because people want to see amenities and they want to see a plethora of them, and you have to be able to offer them. Well, guys, that concludes today's episode. I hope you get together with your staff, with your people, say, what's our next big monumental moment? What do we have planned for 2025? What's the future looking like for us? How can we redevelop? How can we grow? How can we take what we learned and what's to come, the challenges we're facing, even right now, and use them in our favor? Well, guys, I'm your host, Jaden Folks. This is the Millennial Mortician podcast, the podcast that engraves. I hope you guys stay blessed. Enjoy your week. Thank you guys for celebrating me last week. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Have a blessed week, guys.